Oh, too late. Now we started. Special breakfast today, sponsored by ALG, Associates Law Group, and our dear Michael Gongora.
Welcome to the Tuesday Morning Breakfast Club. It is beautiful to see so many people interested in one of the most important races that we could have, and that's judges. Judges, we usually don't know who to go for when you're not lawyers. I always call him and find out, or I call Victor Diaz and find out, or I call a lawyer to see how everything is. So it is wonderful to have you here and to learn about all different lawyers. We've had one here before, and she was great. She told us all about how the judicial system works without getting into any illegalities of any kind. And, we learned a lot. Those people that were here and those people that look at the Facebook and what we put out, which there are many people doing. So I think I have great expectation that this is going to really be looked at. Michael is going to be doing this part of the presentation because he's a lawyer, and I'm not a lawyer. But there's not a lot of questions that I can ask about the judges. First of all, I want to thank the Lincoln Road Eatery for letting us have the Tuesday Morning Breakfast Club here. We really enjoy it, and it's a very good forum for the community. And so I'm going to pass it over. Is anything else? He's going to introduce everybody. Blake. I have to think about it. Blake from the mayor's office is here. Well, here you are.
Thank you. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you to our former mayor for all her years of service and staying so active. Thank you to all the judges and judicial candidates. We're excited to hear from you. There's a candidate for county commissioner. We'll give him a recognition. Rob Piper's here. Thank you for joining us. That wouldn't be possible without a sponsorship, right? Because somebody's got to pay for breakfast. I'm excited for those of you that don't know. After many years, I have joined the Association Law Group in Brickell, still specializing in community association law, but under a different and better roof. So I'd like to introduce the principal and managing partner to say a few words, Ben Solomon. Welcome back.
Good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be here. I'm Ben Solomon, managing partner of Association Law Group. I have a fine moderator here, my partner. Gongora has got a lot of experience with both politics and judges. And as former Mayor Penny Bauer mentioned, this is an extremely important duty, civic duty, that both the judges do and that we do as a community to elect those judges. So it's a great forum for both the community and the judges, and it's our pleasure to be here. So as Michael mentioned, our firm specializes in condominium association and HOAs. If there's anything we can do for your community, let us know. Enjoy your breakfast and the forum. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for breakfast.
Before we call up our first group, which I'm not going to call you in the order of the ballot, I'm going to call you in the order of which I saw your groups here. But you will come up group by group. For those of you that are not as familiar with the judicial process, judges aren't like Maddie and I were as city commissioners, but we could answer anything you might ask us, our political party, our view on everything. Judicial candidates and judges have more limited areas that they can speak about. So don't think they're trying to avoid any question. It's just they are governed by a different set of judicial canons. So we're going to be hearing more about their experience and qualifications, followed by a question or two from me, followed by potentially an audience question if somebody has a good one, and perhaps a close, depending on how time goes. If you look at your ballot, for those of you that got them, the majority of cities, including mine, the judges are the bulk of the ballot. Okay? So they are 6 of the questions you will be voting on. You will be able to vote for 6 people here. 5 are running for circuit court judge, meaning they hear in civil court claims of more than $50,000 on felony crimes. 1 raises county court, where they hear misdemeanor crimes and money suits under $50,000. All are very important seats. 2 of the groups will have 3 candidates, meaning 4 races will for sure be decided in August. The other 2 races would have 3 candidates. If one person does not get 50% plus 1, the top 2 vote getters will move forward on the general ballot in November. So it's wonderful to see your faces again. Bienvenido a toda mi gente latina. Gracias por estar aquí. Liliana Martinez for organizing our breakfast. And with that said, I'm going to call up the first group, because they were the first ones here, actually. And that is group 67, which is Destiny Alvarez and Judge Mabel Ruiz. Please come forward. Stand, they can sit, do whatever they want. Whatever you want to do. I'm just going to sit aside. First up, who's going to time this for me? I need a volunteer. All right, I'm going to trust you. You're running for judge. All right, we're going to do an approximation. And with that said, I'm going to call the first group, because they were the first ones here, actually. And that is group 67.
I don't know what happened. Technical difficulties.
All right. Now we're going to hear about your background in child abuse.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Destiny Alvarez, and I'm running for Circuit Court Judge in Miami-Dade County, for those of you that I've yet to have the opportunity to meet. A little background on myself. I went to the University of Florida, where I received my degree in economics, as well as went straight to law school at the University of Florida. While there, I was lucky enough to be inducted into the Hall of Fame for my service and leadership to the university. I also served as Florida Bouquet President. My last year of law school, I served as a Florida Gubernatorial Fellow at the Department of Transportation. I then started my legal career at Gray Robinson, a large Florida law firm. And now I run my firm's Miami office, voting the Boasting Cross. My legal philosophy is very simple. Apply the law without fear or favor. I have been honored on this campaign to receive a lot of support from our brave firefighters, police officers, and the AFL-CIO has co-endorsed. Thank you all so much for being here today.
Good morning. I am Judge Mabel Ruiz. I've been an attorney for 30 years. I am certified to do death penalty cases. I've done 2 tobacco trials with hundreds of jurors. I've done 150 jury trials, hundreds of bench trials, hundreds of evidentiary hearings. I have been endorsed by the League of Prosecutors, which in my opinion is the creme de la creme of endorsements. I was a public defender for 19 years. They were my opponents. So for my opponents to endorse me for the second time, when I ran in 2020, they also endorsed me. These are soldiers who go to court every day and try cases, and they endorsed me. I am number 126, Mabel Ruiz. My philosophy has always been, and my rulings have always been, fair and just. I have 450 appellate cases and approximately 50 reversals, if that. So my appellate record is excellent. Thank you, everyone. Mabel Ruiz, number 126.
We'll start with you this time. All right, this is my first question. Please describe a significant litigated matter you have personally handled or been involved with as either a lawyer or a judge, and why it was important to you.
Well, I will tell you about an experience that burned an image in my mind. I was not the attorney on that case. I was an attorney in circuit court. I was sitting in court as I did so many years in my career, well, every year in my career. And I saw a transgender woman walk up to the podium, and the entire courtroom laughed and belittled her, including the judge. That moment, I thought to myself, I will never, ever allow anyone to belittle, humiliate, or embarrass someone important. And I promise you, I never have. I have been endorsed by SAFE. I've been endorsed by the League of Prosecutors, co-endorsed by the AFL-CIO. I am proud and honored to tell you that my rulings have always reflected fairness and courage. And I commit to you that when I am reelected, I will never, ever decide a case because of pressure or intimidation. I will always treat everyone who appears before me with fairness and justice.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. I think that every case is important, every client is important. Of those throughout my career that I can think of, number one is standing up for property owners. I started my career as an eminent domain attorney, and so that is when the government comes and takes your property, and by the Florida Constitution, you are owed fair compensation and fair value for your property. So representing property owners and those in lawsuits has been a pride of my career. Also, my career, I think, has, I've been, like I mentioned, a lot of support. So our firefighters, our police officers, the Hispanic police officers, and even AFL-CIO has co-endorsed me. I think this shows my proven record, my career, and my experience, and I am so humbled by that support. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll start with Peter. What is a famous case or legal opinion or precedent that impacted you as a lawyer, and why?
I think there's a lot of different cases that have implications, but number one is the importance is that, hopefully I have the opportunity to win, is that I will ensure that I abide by binding precedent. So no matter if I agree or disagree with that case, if that is the law, that is what I will do. So over my career, I've been impacted by numerous cases, and they have helped shape me, not only also my mentors throughout my career, and I'm very lucky to have had that opportunity.
Thank you. Judge, same question.
So for me, the case that always stands out is Brown versus Board of Education, and that was a segregation case. And it stands out for me because it's a civil rights case, it's an equality case. I believe with every cell in my body that my role is to respect the Constitution and what our forefathers planned for us. Equality, justice, everyone should be equal in the face of the law. And that case to me says that all children deserve the same education and the same access to education, not to mention civil rights.
I'm scared to ask, but does somebody have a good audience question they're ready to ask? Seeing no hands, I'm going to turn it back over to the two of you. Go ahead and take 30 seconds to close.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for being here today. No one ever knows who's on the ballot for judge, and I'm so excited to be able to stand up here in front of you and talk to you about my platform, just character, integrity, and fairness, as well as, again, mention the support that we have been provide on this campaign. I hope that I can count on your vote on or before August 18th. Ballot number 125, and my name is Destiny Alvarez. Thank you.
I am Judge Mabel Ruiz. I'm number 126 on the ballot. So 126 because I'm number 1 in 2026. So I hope you remember that and vote for me. Before I came to this country, when I was 5 years old, in the middle of the night, I had military men knock on my door and evict us from our home. Soon after, my family and I flew on a freedom flight to Miami. That has shaped who I am. I am anti-communist, anti-socialist, pro-America. I have lived the American dream. And I swore when I became a judge that I would follow the law faithfully. And that's what I've done. Mabel Ruiz, number 126 in 2026. And may God bless you.
And Again, Destiny Alvarez, ballot number 125. God bless, and thank you to my amazing husband for also coming to support today. Thank you.
Thank you both. This is race number 67. To the show circuit seat number 67 on your ballot. You can vote for one of these two candidates. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to the next race. Okay, the next race, since I'm doing these in no particular order, and I'm going to need a new person to time these, because my timers group is being called up. This is group 69. There are 3 candidates running for Circuit Court Group 69. The first on your ballot is Rita Maria Baez. The second on your ballot is Janet del Carmen Baez. And the third is Bonita Jones Peabody. Good morning, ladies. So I'm going to go down the row, and we'll start with a 1-minute intro and why you are qualified to be our judge.
Hello. How does it work? Good morning, everybody. My name is Rita Maria Baez, and I am running for Circuit Court Judge in Miami-Dade County. I have been practicing law in Miami-Dade County for 30 years. I have handled thousands of cases across all of the areas of law that are available, including family law, bankruptcy, insurance litigation, commercial litigation, and everything in between. When I started being a lawyer 30 years ago, I always tell people I used to do door law, which meant I did anything that came in the door. So that is how I became what I believe is a very good lawyer after the 30 years. In my career, it has taught me, and being in court every day has taught me, that the most important thing is to listen to the people in front of you. Litigants deserve to be heard, and they have the right to be heard. So as a judge...
You could wrap up.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I'm running for judge because I believe that I have the experience, the knowledge, and the wisdom of staff.
I like that. I killed
Your mic's not working. I know. You got a second. Tech is not my area. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So just to wrap it up, I am number 127 in group 69, and I'll have a chance to talk to you later. Thanks.
Thank you. And that's with Carmen Baez. Intro.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Janet del Carmen Baez, and I've been a prosecutor here in Miami-Dade County for nearly a decade. I am number 128. Get it straight, vote 128 on your ballot. During the time at the prosecutor's office, I started off with the domestic violence unit, and I've worked my way up. I've tried everything from petty theft to homicide, and for the last 3.5 years, I've been in the human trafficking unit. During that time, I've had the privilege of being able to reach out to our community in many aspects. Why? Because human trafficking not only affects our communities, but our most vulnerable, which are our children. As a human trafficking prosecutor, I've had the privilege of going out into the community, and for those and many other reasons, I decided to run for judge. It's important to me. I've always been a public servant. A public servant is someone that actually dedicates their life to serving the public, and I've done that as a prosecutor. I've done that as a member of this community. I'm involved in many organizations. Just yesterday, I got the endorsement from the Miami Herald, and I've received the endorsement from the League of Prosecutors as well as the Fraternal Order of Police. It has been my pleasure to serve this community, and that's what I intend on doing. Again, 128, get it straight, vote 128. Don't hesitate, vote 128.
Peabody, your intro.
I'm Bonita Jones Peabody, and I'm running for Circuit Court Judge right here in Miami-Dade County. After 35 years of practicing law, civil law, juvenile, criminal law, probate law, bankruptcy law, I've done a plethora of things. After an incident happened early in my career that let me know that every judge that sits in judgment of the people of Miami-Dade County ought to have an understanding of the culture and the diversity of the people that they're going to be judging. I did that to study and show myself approved. I've done that. I took time off when my daughter almost died having my grandchild. And then my husband became ill, had a stroke, 2 years unable to move, unable to speak, had to be turned every 2 hours, and then he died. So like most women, I took care of my family because I'm qualified to do this. I'm asking for your vote that you will punch 129 because it's time to have a judge that understands you and understands the community and its beautiful diversity. Thank you.
You three are running for an open seat, meaning there is not an incumbent here, so we don't have any type of official record or way of keeping that. Could you please highlight the civic activities or professional accomplishments in your background that you believe make you most qualified for judge?
So as a judge, I think there has to be an understanding that you're in the community. In addition to that, understanding the law. Last year, an accomplishment I was very proud of was I was awarded Human Trafficking Prosecutor of the Year for 2025 because I secured the guilty verdict of a man who brought a child in foster care through 5 states before he sold her here as a piece of property. The reason that award was so important to me wasn't because of the recognition. It was because I was able to secure that this child in foster care never, ever, ever would be trafficked by this man. So that to me is a huge accomplishment, and I was extremely proud of that. As far as civic engagement, I am the chair of what's called the Real Talk. It's an organization where we go into certain schools to help the students understand laws that can affect them, and I have been the chair of that. We go into these schools, we have an opportunity to talk to the kids, tell them laws that will affect them, and we also present to them on how to be lawyers in the future if they have interested. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to mentor the National Organization of Women. I've had mentor and mentees in that aspect as well.
Thank you. Mr. Jones, same question. 2 things you'd like to highlight professionally or civic involvement.
I was a supervisor in the Office of the Public Defender for more than 9 years, training new attorneys on how to handle litigation cases. I've handled high-profile cases. I've handled cases where the children were the ones that we needed to take care of. With the Florida Bar, I was chair of the Legal Needs of Children Committee. I've been a lawyer for Lawyers for Children America. I've had children in my heart, but I've also had the elderly in my heart. A part of the elders subcommittee for the Florida Bar, the Virginia Key Beach Park Trust. I'm a board member of the Brownsville Neighborhood Civic Association. I was a model city youth commissioner at the age of 12, where in my neighborhood there was no park. Making sure that the abandoned dairy farm, I made the suggestion that it would become a park, and it was. I've done a lot in this community because I wanted to give back, but I did that while also managing my own issues.
Thank you. Okay. Because I asked the same question.
Well, in my 30-year career, I have to say that what I'm most proud of is all of the clients that I have been able to help throughout my years when they were found in a situation where they needed a lawyer. Not only have I been paid as a lawyer for a lot of my cases, but I've also done a lot of pro bono work where I help people that would otherwise not be able to find a lawyer. I've always been in private practice, so there was no awards. I would give myself one every day if I could. So I don't have any of those, but I do believe that, again, what qualifies me is that I do understand the diversity and the situation that many people in our community find ourselves all the time. So I guess that would be my biggest accomplishment is helping people, even if specifically helping people doing hurricane claims. I've done a lot of first-party homeowners cases, and it's always a joy to be able to make most of my clients whole after such a catastrophic loss.
Thank you. I think we start with when you. All right. Good. Gotta mix it up, right? Somebody's gotta go first every time. All right. All right. You touched on this earlier, but for the audience members, tell us what specific areas of law you currently practice in, whether you've tried any jury cases, and how this prepares you to be a judge.
Yes. I'm right now in the middle of a high-profile homicide case. That case was actually tried for verdict, and it was a hung jury. We're now getting ready to go back to trial with that. In addition to that, jury trial, I trained attorneys on becoming litigants in court and how to handle juries. You had mentioned before about a significant case. One of those significant cases in the other race I wanted to talk about was the Zimmerman case. That case affected me because my daughter, who is not a lawyer, but a teacher, in every school that she's been teaching for 19 years, every school that she's been in, I've gone in and talked with the children, letting them know the consequences of their actions, speaking with the young girls. But in that case, as my daughter and I watched this, there was a question that the jurors had. And my daughter said, well, you're not guilty. I said, how did you tell? She said, because of the question.
5 seconds.
After that, I made sure that I trained my attorneys to answer the questions that the jurors had before they had to go back for deliberation. I practiced, I taught, I supervised, and I trained. I'm prepared to take on the responsibility of a judgeship from day one.
Thank you. And I'm going to give you all a little exercise because you did go over. I think next up is Rita Baez. Same question. The question, let me repeat it. The question is, what areas of law do you practice in now? Have you tried any jury cases? And how has that prepared you to be a judge?
Well, right now I'm mostly involved in personal injury cases. I've done over 80 jury trials during my 30-year career, and personal injury cases, auto accidents, that type of slip and fall, that is what I've been currently doing for, I would say, the last 10 years. And also, well, like I mentioned earlier, the first-party homeowners cases that I've done also, and I also have handled some commercial litigation, including a pro bono case where 2 nail technicians were actually sued by the salon that they left, and we just resolved that case last week. So that's what I've been doing. I'm running for judge. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. First succinct answer. All right. Yes, I think so.
So for the last 3.5 years, it's okay. Jury trials are just like this. You end up talking to a big group of people, we can project.
Oh, but anyway, this one is for the
Oh, okay. So jury trials. I've tried 34 cases to verdict. What is that? Why is that important? Because to verdict means I actually got a jury result back. So I'm not giving you false statistics. I'm giving you numbers that are to verdict, right? I have been trying cases. I was actually just in jury selection the week of June 29th. I probably spent more time in the courtroom than I do with my fiance and 5-year-old daughter. But that is the work of a public servant. That is the work that as a judge, number 128, and as time advised, I plan on having. Being in the courtroom every single day is my bread and butter. I have been there, and that is the place where I'm most comfortable. I've also trained over 50 attorneys in this jurisdiction who have now gone on to higher positions within the office or are now in private practice areas. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a good audience? Ma'am, what's your question? Hold on. I'll run over to you.
I'm sorry. This is an open city, right?
That's
and
correct.
so you're all lawyers now. I would like to know if you have volunteered or done pro bono work for the community. Organizations are always helping people. Many times, I know I'm in one organization, we're looking for lawyers to help our elderly, our children, and I want to know if you have done that. And I ask that question all the time.
Yes, the question is, as an attorney, what pro bono work have you done? And specifically, have you done it with any organization? You're holding the mic.
All right, yes, I have. I am actually part of the board of the Miami Bridge Youth Services. For those of you who are not familiar with the Miami Bridge Youth Services, they are an organization that helps children who are experiencing homelessness due to their family situation. I have been a board member there for nearly a year. Prior to that, the reason I was selected to be on the board is because of my work with them. Being in the human trafficking unit, we work with a lot of children in foster care at his house, which is a foster care home that I've also done volunteer work for. I'm also a mentor for the National Organization of Women. I've taken on 2 mentors from that organization. And like I mentioned before, I do the Real Talks. I'm also on the League of Prosecutors, the National Black Prosecutors Association, and the list goes on. I love being involved in this community. To me, it's important because the same way that being a public servant is important, giving back to the community is equally important. I'm fortunate to work in an office that has an elderly vulnerable abuse unit specifically for our elderly. So I was one of the prosecutors that was able to do the training to be able to allow our senior citizens see exploitation.
I want to know specifically, have you given lawyerly advice to these organizations, the people that belong not to sit on the
Is there any specific organization that you're from?
If you volunteer trying to give advice to people that cannot afford to pay a lawyer.
As a prosecutor, I'm not exactly allowed to always do pro bono work. There's a lot of clearances that have to be done because you never want to be providing legal advice and then a case comes in front of you. However, when I say sit on a board, understand that I am out there. I will paint the doors, I will paint the walls, I will volunteer with the children, I will mentor. So that's the kind of board member I have been.
Thank you. Let's be ready to ask the same question.
Yes, specifically, I have given legal advice to the Brownsville Civic Neighborhood Association. This is an organization that's concerned about their property, about their neighborhoods, about encroachments into their neighborhoods, about lighting conditions. I've given legal advice for them. I've also volunteered for Lawyers for Children America. This organization is an organization that helps children who are either victims or are witnesses in criminal cases so that they will not have to go through the courts alone by themselves. I've also been a volunteer and legal advice setting policy, setting rules for the Florida Bar's Legal Needs of Children Committee. I've also been a part setting rules, setting regulations, giving my legal expertise to the Florida Bar's Criminal Procedure Rules Committee. I've also given advice under the Wilkie D. Ferguson Black Bar Association, having legal clinics in the community, answering questions for people who cannot afford a lawyer to help them with their various issues, ranging from probate to landlord-tenant. I've also done it in my church, organized legal clinics with the lawyers in the church for will setting, reviewing probate matters, reviewing housing matters, and also helping elders who find themselves in foreclosure. So I've used my legal acumen to assist those who could not pay me back.
Okay, Ms. Baez, same question.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I have handled many pro bono cases. I have never done it through any formal organization because I do not believe that that is necessary. What I have done, and I can tell you, meeting elderly people when my parents have been hospitalized, I have actually written a lot of wills for free. I have done a lot of powers of attorney. I have given legal advice to persons who were going to be taken advantage of had I not been around to advise them and guide them in something that they did not understand. I've helped so many people in my 30 years that I can't count them. And like I said, my last case, I litigated the case for more than 1 year with the nail technicians that were sued by the salon where they had left. And thankfully, I was able to prevail. And I never expected any payment for that because I went to law school for, one of the reasons I went to law school is that I do not like bullying. And I wanted to be able to help people and help them through these trying times when they get sued or they have to sue in order to get the remedy that they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you. You were exactly on time. Take 20 to 30 seconds, go down the row and give us your virtual service. No, save your question for the next group.
Oh, okay.
20 to 30 second close, a quickie, go.
Okay. So choosing a judge is a very important decision that we make, as Mayor Bauer mentioned in the opening. We're here. I believe that I am qualified. I believe that my 30 years of lawyering have given me the knowledge and the wisdom that I need to be a good judge. At the age of 61, which is my age right now, I am ready to serve this community and to be a good judge. I would also like to point out that I am honored that I received the endorsement of the Police Benevolent Association as well as the endorsement of the Hispanic Police Officers Association. I am very proud of that. I'm proud to be endorsed by those who keep us safe and who put their lives on the line every day on our behalf. Thank you. Oh, 127 again, and I don't have a jingle because I haven't been able to do that. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been my honor to serve as a public servant. This isn't a new world for me. In nearly a decade at the prosecutor's office, I have been a servant. I've always had the servant heart. And why is that? Because to me, it's important to keep our community safe. I'm actually out there in the undercover operation when our human trafficking detectives are taking down our team, our defendants. I am in the courtroom with our victims, holding their hands right before they're about to testify. I've been with the families and the senior citizens who have been the victims of a homicide, and it's me that's taken that case to verdict to make sure that our community stays safe. The courtroom is where I've always continued to champion for this community, and I want to continue to do that. Janet del Carmen Baez, 128. Don't hesitate, and don't let this face fool you. I am 40 this year, so I am a mother, I am a fiance, and I have been a member of this community. I have the ability to do the work, and I hope your guidance and vote. Thank you.
You can get a lot done when you don't care who gets credit for it. And many of the things that I've gotten done, it was because I didn't care who got credit for it. I just needed it to get done. Having worked for 35 years in this court, trying cases to verdict over 200, 134 of those I tried first year. About 20 or so of those were done as third year, where I had 2 attorneys next to me learning the trade. And the others were done second year, where I was training attorneys to do it. I didn't want to clone anyone to be me, but I wanted to clone them to know that they were a person standing next to them had every right to expect excellence from them. And I wanted to make sure that they provided that excellence for the community, for the person standing next to them. I've held hands with mothers who had sons who were going through the system. I've held hands with people who were afraid going through this system. And I hold hands with anyone, no matter who, no matter what, standing there. The Constitution of the United States of America says that everyone deserves to have an attorney of their choice. And when they make the choice that it is me or one of those attorneys that I've trained, they are choosing excellence every time. I'm asking for your vote, Benita Jones Peabody. My punch number is 129 because it's time that we have a judge who understands justice. Thank you.
All right. This is Group 69. This is Rita Marie Baez, Janet del Carmen Baez, Benita Jones Peabody. This is Circuit Court Judge Group 69. You can vote for 1. If none of them receive 50% plus 1, 2 of them will be on the November ballot as well. Thank you all for
joining.
joining.
I was endorsed fully by the AFL-CIO and by the South Florida Council of Firefighters and many community leaders. 3 of my bosses, Ben Plummer, Carlos Martinez, and Linda Kelly Pearson.
All right. All right, we're moving along. Thank you all for your patience. Mike, we're going to get out of here at 10:30 as promised. I'm going to call up Group 5. I don't know who's here. Alex Annunziato, Arthur Lamar, Marty McNeil, Monica Segura. Who is here? Okay, I only have one candidate. One candidate told me this morning they had an emergency and had to be in trial. So I took the liberty of saying that they could send a surrogate to speak for 1 minute on their behalf. After you do that, this is going to be a one-man show. So we're going to go quick. All right, you are speaking on behalf of Alex Annunziato. He advised he was in court. Monica Segura had emailed that she would be attending, but she is not here. All right.
I'll make it official. Well, first of all, good to see everybody here. That's great that everybody.
Speak closer to the microphone.
So, good morning. My name is Joe Maroney of Maroney Painting. I'm going to speak briefly on behalf of my friend Alex Annunziato. Alex sincerely regrets he could not be here today. He was looking forward to the forum, but he was called to trial and is doing what experienced trial lawyers do, representing his client in court. Alex's connection to Miami Beach runs deep. 20 years ago, he ran for city commissioner in a 5-candidate race, advanced to the runoff, and lost by fewer than 200 votes. He later served as general obligation bond, oversight board, community development advisory committee, and for years, vice chair of the Miami Beach Zoning Board of Adjustment. 2 of the children attend St. Patrick's, and his 2 oldest graduated from Miami Beach High. Alex is a former state police lieutenant and a military veteran of 2 branches of the Navy and the Coast Guard. I'm speaking for Alex because when my small cleaning company faced baseless lawsuits, I asked him for help. The representative pro bono during the entire jury trial never hesitated to help me when I was in trouble. That's just the way Alex is. Alex has the right, has the highest regard for Miami Beach.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for attending on his behalf. Okay. Now, this is group 5. Yes. Hey, this is group 5. We have Arthur Lamar Marty McNeil. If you could please introduce yourself and let us know why you are the most qualified candidate for judge. Sure. Okay. You have impeccable timing.
Thank you.
Your group was just held up. Go ahead and come forward. No worries. We are starting with the 1-minute intros. You will introduce yourself.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming out this morning. My name is Arthur Marty McNeil, and I'm a candidate for Circuit Court Judge in Group 5. I'm the son of a U.S. Army veteran and an educator, and public service is in my DNA. I began my legal career at the Public Defender's Office in Miami-Dade after graduating law school, and I practiced there for a while, and then for 8 years I was in private practice managing my own law firm. I practiced in the areas of criminal defense, civil law, family law, juvenile delinquency and dependency, and I was also a Supreme Court certified circuit civil court mediator. So during the housing foreclosure crisis, I helped banks and homeowners reach agreements to keep homeowners in their homes. I have always been a public servant. Even when I was in private practice, I still represented indigent defendants through the Office of Criminal Conflict and Civil Regional Counsel. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's do a 1-minute intro.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone, and my apologies. A lot of construction going on here, so a tribute to you guys for being here this lovely morning. My name is Monica Segura. Good morning, Marty. I've been practicing for 21 years. I'm a double hurricane. I went to the University of Miami, as I said. There I was president of the SBA. Additionally, as a lawyer, I've served many leadership positions that give me the experience to give back. I was on the board of the Cuban Bar Association, the board of the Florida Association for Women Lawyers. I also served on the board of governors for the Florida Bar and the Young Lawyers section. The thing that sets me apart from my candidates, who are all fantastic, and I give a lot of applause to all of us here who are seeking public service. It's not an easy feat. What sets me apart is, thank you, what sets me apart is I served as a magistrate for the town of Miami-Dade. There I dealt with a lot of people paying before me, and I believe that experience translates. And I would be so honored during this early voting and also during, thank you so much for your time. Monica Segura.
Segura, speak the mic. We're going to start with you.
Sure.
Please tell us, what specific areas of law do you practice in now? Have you tried any jury cases, and how has that prepared you to be a judge?
Thank you so much. So I practice in civil litigation. I've handled 1 bench trial and 1 civil trial. But what sets me apart is my experience with timely trial litigation. A couple years ago, I handled 12,000 claims and cases in the state of Florida and also in federal court in New Orleans. But again, what sets me apart is I was a special magistrate for the town of Miami-Dade, and I believe that experience dealing with litigants, dealing with attorneys, sets me apart. Thank you.
If you could pass the mic, I'm going to refer you to Marty in 10 quotes. Marty.
So the specific area of law that I practice now is criminal defense. As an assistant public defender, I work in the death penalty unit handling capital litigation. I've tried over 65 cases. Most of them have been jury trials to verdict, and across a very areas of law. So I've tried criminal defense cases, I've tried some civil, some family law and delinquency cases. I believe you may have heard the saying that imitation is the best form of flattery. As an assistant public defender, I've been in court practicing law daily. I've seen how judges run their calendars. I've seen how judges administer justice. And I've seen how judges or what requirements are called upon them day in and day out. You know, being a judge, you're in court every single day practicing and administering justice. I've been there, I've seen that.
Thank you. Next question, we'll start with you. Do you think that current juries adequately and fairly reflect society? What could be done to make them better?
Do I think that current juries adequately reflect society? So I do, in the sense that everyone who is registered, if you have a driver's license or if you're a registered voter, you are eligible to serve on the jury. I know some of you may wonder, well, why am I getting a jury summons every, 2 times a year? And some people may say, whoo, I've survived all my life without getting a jury summons. One of the things that I can tell you, though, is it's very important for citizens to come to court. This is one of the very few times that our government compels or requires us to participate in civic participation. And it's very important because as a juror, in the criminal law, we say that our clients are entitled to a jury of their peers. In civil law, it's the same thing. You want to have jurors, regular members of the community, coming and sitting in court because you get to see how justice is administered. You also get to give your input and your valued opinions on what that justice, what that verdict should be.
Thank you. Mr. Segura, same question?
Yes, of course. I do think that it actually depicts us. I think, as a matter of fact, 2 months ago, I was picked I got a little summons and I went to my first jury trial. I wasn't picked, I was released after about 8 hours, but I think learning the process, seeing the individuals there, I do believe our system is one that does represent us, and I think if you do get that summons, although you may get it and think, oh my God, what am I doing? Please get back and please do serve. You're an integral part of our system. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there an audience question at this time? All right, hearing none, I'm going to give you a quick one. This is a 30-second answer. Ms. Segura.
Yeah.
What is your favorite movie or TV show involving a judge or lawyer character, and why?
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say what's my favorite movie and leave it at that. I was going to say Cinderella. Because I believe this process has been so wonderful, and you are chosen by the people to represent the people. In terms of a criminal or civil show, that's a good question. I'll be honest, my father passed away 8 years ago. He was a retired lieutenant for the city of Miami, and I always watched with him Law and Order, so I would say that is my ultimate favorite show. And liking to be a lawyer, although I never practiced in criminal law, my father was always home telling me about the cases that he testified in, and I do believe I owe that to him. So criminal, Law and Order would be mine. Thank you. Olivia Benson would be my favorite character. Thank you.
Mr. McNeil, good question.
This is probably one of the toughest questions I had to answer. So growing up, 2 of my favorite lawyers, I'll tell you. One was Felicia Rashad in The Cosby Show, because you were never pulling anything over her. And the other was Matlock. Because growing up, Matlock was always there championing the underdog. He was always there standing up for the person that everyone else walked away from. And he never looked for glamour, he never looked for a reward. He was there fighting on the side of justice every day. And those are 2 that I grew up admiring. And there's a lot of other movies and TV shows about the legal profession. Far too many to name and hard to pick a favorite.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead and keep the mic and give us 30 seconds to close.
Thank you very much again for inviting us out here today to speak with you all and to help educate you on the judicial process in the Canada. I am a Floridian of 21 years. When I was a child, we originally came to Miami for a cruise, and I instantly fell in love with the community, with the people, with the weather, with the water. And I decided as a child, you hear your kids say this when I grow up, I'm going to do this. When I grew up, I said I was going to live in South Florida, and that's where I've been calling home for the past 21 years. I am looking forward to joining the judiciary and continuing my public service and looking forward to representing all of you in Miami-Dade. My punch number is 121. That's because I am the one to represent every one of you.
Thank you so much for being out here today. Just in closing, I would like to say that I was born and raised here from Cuban parents who immigrated to this country. I am their American dream as well as my American dream, and I could not be here without you. I went to the University of Miami for undergrad and law school, and I am dedicated to public service. And please remember, during this period and on August 18th, 122, and for those that speak Spanish, asegúrese con Mónica Segura, vota agosto 18. Thank you so much.
Thank you both so much. This is group 5 on your ballot. There are 3 candidates, Alex Annunziato, Arthur Lamar, Marty McNeil, and Monica Segura. You can vote for one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay, and now moving to group 76. We have 2 candidates. We have Jenny Dominguez and Judge Spencer Ike. If you would both come forward.
Let's move it. What's his name? I forgot his name. It just says
Thank you.
I
Welcome.
know, he's not running.
Okay, you can hold that in the back.
Michael.
Take a picture. Not that I'm running or anything, but it's always good to have your name on there. All right. We'll start with a 1-minute intro. It's Mike, though. Here. All right. We'll start with Ms. Dominguez. Go ahead and give us a 1-minute introduction of your qualifications.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yanni Dominguez. A little bit about myself. Thank you. So first of all, thank you all for being here today, and thank you for having me to share my story, my journey, and why about my candidacy and my campaign. So a little bit about myself again. My name is Yanni Dominguez. I am running for circuit court judge. My punch number is 130. Election is August 18th. I was born and raised here in Miami. My parents are Cuban American parents, hardworking individuals. My father worked in road construction until he retired, and my mom was a janitor with Miami-Dade Public Schools until she retired. And I'm sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I'm 7 months pregnant, and this baby's pushing up on my.
One second.
So I was born and raised here, went to school here. Miami and this community has really been the backdrop of my whole life. And it would be a complete honor and to serve as your circuit court judge. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So Jay, the same 1-minute intro, please.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Miami Beach. Good morning, Tuesday Breakfast Club. And it's nice to see a bunch of familiar faces. I'm a Miami Beach person as well. Nice to see you, Ms. Kennedy. Thank you. My name is Judge Spencer Ike, and I have been serving in this job for over 20 years. I've done every part of the courts, every division, criminal, juvenile, civil, family, and I performed not a lot of divorces, but I performed a bunch of marriages too, so if anybody here feeling romantic today with their partner, we'll see if we can get it done. You know, it's a nice crowd, the breakfast is already paid for. So I'm very proud to have served in this job. I love this job, and I have done a lot of good. I have a lot of good yet to do, and I hope that I win this election. I'm an admirer of my opponent. I hope she wins the next one.
Thank you. All right, you were right on 1 minute. Okay, we'll start with you, Judge. All right, as a lawyer or a judge, how would you go about determining the credibility of witnesses who give conflicting accounts of what happens? And do you have an example of how you may have dealt with this before?
Well, I deal with it obviously all the time. I've been trying cases as a judge for over 20 years, as a federal prosecutor for a decade before that, etc. And looking around this room, and nobody is lying, because nobody is fidgeting or twitching. And, you know, one thing, if I was going to redesign courtrooms in America, instead of putting the witnesses in a wooden box where nobody could see what they're doing, I would have witnesses sit up very openly on a platform and so everybody could see. Because the
5 seconds.
I published.
Thank you. Same question.
That's a great question, and I'm going to touch on the importance, right, before we go back to the jury are our peers, right? And it's important that we have a jury that can listen to witnesses and take that into consideration on their credibility, right? And it's the role of the attorneys and the role of the judge, particularly the attorneys, to advocate for their client, to present
5 seconds,
witnesses
please.
that are credible and are going to tell the story for their client. So that's very important. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll start. Good money. Let's see. What haven't we asked on this? Okay. What is or would be your approach to dealing with attorneys and parties who are disruptive and unprofessional? Do you believe judges have a duty to report attorney misconduct?
You know, that's a great question. And I will tell you this much. I deal with that on I want to say consistent basis, just as an attorney. I do litigate. I do civil litigation currently. I represent the elderly community in foreclosure cases as pro bono. I've done first-party insurance work. I do probate, which is more transactional, and litigating as well, estate planning, real estate. But I always get that sometimes that opposing counsel that can be not as professional or
5 seconds.
as kind. And so it's always important for me to keep my composure, more so for my client, and if elected, one elected judge, I hope to continue to have that compassion on the
Thank you.
bench. Thank you so much.
And we'll give you 75 seconds to respond. Go ahead.
When I first became a judge, the state of Florida trained new judges, and one of the very first trainings that we received was on this topic. And they put up a big sign, a big thing on the board that said, validating emotions shrinks things. Every time anybody comes to court, it's often one of the most important days of their life. Really big decisions for their own lives are being made. And so people do sometimes act out because they're under stress and pressure. It's important for the judge to try to calm things down. And so, come to court, you deserve an experience.
First, I'd like to thank everybody. It's very well-credentialed candidates we have here. My question is this. I think, for me anyway, sitting here, as Michael mentioned, there's a limited amount you can tell us about experiences and things, but what's the downside to making the wrong choice for judge? Okay, we're talking about everybody saying why they should be judged. What's the penalty if the electorate makes a bad choice?
Judge, what happens if you make the wrong choice for judge?
That's kind of a low stress issue because there's a whole court out in Kendall, the 3rd District Court of Appeal, whose job is to correct whatever mistakes I make. In the courtroom for us trial judges, things come fast. They come not as fast as they come for the police on the street, but fast. We have to make decisions and we have to move. And those decisions are not carved in stone. And they can be corrected by judges that sit quietly and talk it over. And so I've made a few mistakes in my time. And usually it's when my heart overwhelmed my thinking. And, all's well that ends well.
Same question. What's the downside if you make the wrong decision?
Thank you for that question. So, as Judge Ide mentioned, we do have different levels in our court system. We have circuit court, and then the court of appeals. So if we make a decision for the defendant or plaintiff decides, I want to try to overturn the lower court's decision, they go to the appeals process, right? And also, I do want to mention that it's important for the judge to be prepared and not be making decisions without understanding both sides and taking those things into consideration to limit those errors and quick decisions off quick. Okay, so those are two components that are very important that work hand in hand and are just as valuable being prepared and having that level, another level of review on decisions from your courts.
Ready to keep the microphone and give us your closing argument in 30 seconds of why you are the better candidate.
Well, thank you again. My name is Yanni Dominguez. I'm on the ballot, number 130. Again, this community has been the backdrop to every stage of my life. I was born and raised here. I grew up here. I built my career here, and I started my family here. I have a 3.5-year-old. I'm expecting, my husband and I are expecting our second child now in the fall, in October, and it would be an honor to serve as your circuit court judge and to give back to the community as I have since I was in middle school. I've been very involved in my community through Camilla's House and other organizations. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you all. I've been serving for over 20 years. I've been re-elected 3 times, but in the past, my opponents always dropped out. I'm so proud of Yanni. I always wanted an opponent. Even Abraham Lincoln had an opponent. And so I've been endorsed by the Herald, the police. I think everybody that's looked at the race, and that's fine. I served Miami Beach as chairman of the Police Citizen Relations Committee before and various things. And that's fine. I have a lot. I've raised 4 children here in Miami Beach. That's been great. It's all been amazing. I'm proud of you all for your civic engagement. My ballot number is 131. Anybody can think of a good rhyme for that, tell me.
Thank you so much. This is Circuit Court Judge Group 76. You can vote for one of these 2 people. Yanni Dominguez, Judge Spencer Wright, thank you for participating. Okay. Joe's got a question. This group should be afraid. I'm going to call up Circuit Group 35, Renee Gordon and Cristobal David Padron. These are 2 faces familiar to the Tuesday Morning Breakfast Club because they have both run previously. And like all candidates, I have a lot of respect for every candidate running, but when you keep running, you know you're determined. So one of them will be in this time. We'll start with Renee Gordon. If you could give us a 1-minute intro on your experience and qualifications.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Renee Gordon, and I'm running for Circuit Court Judge in Group 35. I have served in our courthouses for more than 30 years. I've practiced in both civil and criminal. I've done everything from juvenile, felonies, misdemeanors, DD, probate, you name it, in the criminal and the civil. I have done it. Not only have I litigated and practiced, but I've supervised and trained. Many of the judges that are currently sitting on the bench, I have supervised. Moreover, I'm an adjunct professor in the College of Law at FIU. So I've supervised, litigated, trained, practiced, and educated clients, educated attorneys, and future attorneys.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Padron. Same thing, 1-minute intro.
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you to Michael Gongora for giving us this forum to talk to our community here in Miami Beach. My name is Chris Padron. I've been an attorney for 15 years. I originally started my practice defending people in foreclosure. That was a very arduous kind of situation, right? We start every day at 7:30, sometimes 8 in the morning, and I wouldn't get back to the office till like 6, and then we'd be there till like 10 o'clock at night. that was my life for the last 6 years of the foreclosure development. But after that, I transitioned into kind of circuit cases that dealt with complex business disputes and things like that. It's kind of hard to get passionate about money, so I transitioned into family. This is my calling. This is what I do now. I've done over 400 bench trials. I've done 24 appeals, and only lost one in Broward County, so that's kind of a good record. I've done every area of law. I'm very experienced in this. Attorneys hire me to do their trials. So I'm asking for your support now, this coming election now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Those are very succinct with 1 minute. All right. Important quality in being a judge, and how have you demonstrated that you possess that quality?
Well, I think everyone would answer more than likely that the best quality and the most important quality is fairness. But what most people don't talk about is patience, right? You get in families, we get a lot of people that are good people at their worst, right? People that are fighting over their children, fighting over their savings, dealing with really complex issues with a lot of emotions, right? Judges should be there to kind of make the experience as enjoyable as possible. Obviously, you got to keep order, right? That's the job. But you got to treat people kindly. You got to treat them with respect, because all people deserve respect.
Ms. Gordon, the same question.
I believe that one of the most important qualities is experience and competency. You have to be competent in the law in order to make decisions that are fair. But there's some other things that you need as a good judge. One, the ability to listen to people. And two, to treat everyone that comes before you with respect and dignity. And finally, the last thing is every judge must have integrity. It is critical when we are on that bench.
Excellent. All right, keep the microphone. Moving on to some other questions. I realize I missed some. This court, can you describe a situation where you faced a significant ethical dilemma and how you resolved it?
Wow. As a public defender, having tried more than 60 cases jury to verdict and more than 75 bench trials, I have come across some things that would be deemed unethical. One of the things I'm thinking about is how do you deal with a person who is testifying who may not be telling the truth? And so part of it is to be able to listen carefully, to be able to cross-examine well. But more importantly, one of the things that really touched my heart was when I had an incompetent, but I believe again, incompetent client. A client who was deemed incompetent in the first evaluation, but because he learned how to parrot the answers, became competent, but could not help me. And how do you deal with that? One of the things you must do is, one, you've got to bring it up before the court. And two, you've got to really work with your client in order to ensure that they get justice. So those are the two things. One is when you have a person on the other side that's maybe unethical, how do you bring it up? What do you do? How do you supervise? And two, when you have a client who you feel can help you, whether it's ethical or
Thank you. And that was a tough question, so you can take a minute and a half if you need to answer it.
Fair enough. Again, an ethical dilemma that I've had to deal with recently was it involved a colleague of mine, a very good friend of mine, a very good attorney in family law. He had a mental health breakdown. He basically took a lot of money, didn't do anything for his community, and eventually filed his own suicide case. I engaged all the police officers that I knew, because I divorced a lot of people. I do a lot of family, right? So I got everybody, we put a bolo out for him. He ended up surrendering at my house at 10 p.m., right? And with a loaded firearm. Not only that, we have an ethical obligation to report people like that to the court bar, which is a difficult endeavor, right? You have to tell your friends, I have to report you to the Florida bar. And I did that. And then I got him help. I got him a residential placement. And then we negotiated and got a pathway back after he went better and got his treatment and got the help that he needed to get through this difficult moment so he could have the pathway back and make amends for what he did. I also took all his cases and did them pro bono, the majority of them. So that was an ethical dilemma because you have to be able to stand up to your friends and stand up for what the law requires and what the community requires. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to move on to an audience question. You can keep the microphone. Joe, you said you had a question. I can answer that. 6 years. The Florida Bar does not come out and recommend. There are a number of groups that do. You'll see, you've heard from some of the candidates. They'll talk about the hero, the police. Those seem to be the big ones I hear judges talking about all the time. All right. Sure, you can save those for your close. I'm going to give you one 30-second question, and then we're going to go straight into a 30-second close. All right. Tell us something about you personally. What are your hobbies? What do you enjoy doing?
Well, these days, my hobbies include soccer, even though I'm not a big fan of soccer, I'm going to be honest with you. I was born and raised here in Miami-Dade County. I love to fish. I love to hike. I was a hunter, believe it or not. I went out to the Everglades and was one of the first people catching pythons with the head biologist here at Everglades National Park, Gibson, right? But again, that's what I do most days now with soccer. My kids are obsessed. My wife is Colombian. We've been together 20 years, married, well, together 25, married 20. Our anniversary is coming up now on the 28th of this month. And we have an event, unfortunately. So we make do, but my kids have taken up all our time now with soccer. It's every day, every weekend. It's a fun way.
Ms. Gordon, 45 seconds. Tell us something about your hobbies and what you enjoy doing.
Well, what I've been doing is surfing. And that's what I've been doing all of my career and all of my life. I serve a lot in the community. I was a grandparent raising grandchildren when I give legal advice. Or whether it's domestic violence, where I'm on panels talking about domestic violence and resources for domestic violence. Whether it's doing you may be a minor, but your consequences are not minor workshop. Whether it's speaking at Miami-Dade public schools, because when I grew up, the closest person to me was an attorney, was Perry Mason. And I vowed that no child should ever not know a lawyer.
She was ready for that question.
Or whether it is serving in our community with the Redemption Project, you will see that almost every weekend and in the weekend, I'm serving our community.
Go ahead and go. Go ahead, Ms. Gordon. Keep the mic. Give us 30 seconds. Tell us about your endorsements and why we should vote for you.
I've received the PDA endorsement, the South Florida Coalition of Firefighters endorsement, the Miami Herald endorsement, the AFL-CIO endorsement, the SAVE endorsement, and some others, but I'll tell you why. I grew up every summer working on a farm with my grandparents in a tobacco farm. We worked hard. And so I bring that to the bench. That is a hard bench. And in addition, we served people. We went in their homes. We didn't have Uber Eats. We were the Uber Eats. Serving people. That's where I got my love for service and caring for other people. And finally, because when we went in those homes, there were things we saw. My grandmother never shamed people. She treated them with dignity and respect. And that is too, along with my academics, what I bring, dignity and respect to people.
Mr. Padron, go ahead and take a minute to tell us about your endorsements and why we should vote for you.
So I've been endorsed by the Fraternal Order of Police. I've been endorsed by the Hispanic Police Officers Association, the Christian Family Coalition, and several mayors, which I don't announce mayors because it's not a political decision. This is not a political position, right? But I did do help in introducing you to members of the community. Things that I'm proud of as an attorney and as some of the bases, we heard a lot about service, and I like to comment that I give direct service to the community. I'm a voluntary pro bono guardian at Live with the Children. We started a foundation, one of the victims, survivors of domestic violence, literally on film, being dragged off the screen with a knife. Again, the guy didn't get convicted. He got assault with a deadly weapon probation. So I kicked his butt in divorce court, got mom both houses and a very healthy alimony payment. She paid it forward, and we started a foundation to help victims of domestic violence escape the cycle of violence. I've spoken, and recently I received an award on that. I have many years of experience, I have the patience and temperament to be a judge. I'm fluent in English and Spanish, and I ask for your support. My number is 124. Again, like Judge I need a slogan. AI hasn't even helped, not one. It's a very difficult one.
All right, thank you both.
Can I give my punch number?
Yes, quick.
My punch number is 123. It's as easy as 123.
All right, this is Renee Gordon and Christopher David Padron. Your choices for Circuit Group 35. One of them will be elected judge on August 18th. Thank you. We are now moving on to our final group. Last but certainly not least, we are here with County Court Group 5, which is Maribel Diaz and Judge Luis Perez Medina. Welcome. We will start with you, Ms. Diaz. Go ahead and give us your 1 minute intro about your experience and qualifications.
Hello, I'm Maribel Diaz. I have been an attorney for over 18 years. I am the daughter of two immigrants. My father was a car salesman, and my mother was a secretary. And every summer, instead of me going, to the beach and having fun with my friends, I would go with him to buy and sell cars. And I learned our car business from my family from the bottom up. So I worked very hard to be here where I am today. I went to St. Thomas University for accounting. I have an accounting degree. And I went to Nova for my law degree. I've worked in the private sector and in the public sector. I've managed attorneys, I've managed paralegals, and I've basically mentored young minds who want to be attorneys or who aspire to go to college and do other things. I currently have employees in college which I am mentoring. I mentored a law student which is not going to take bar, and I am here to serve the community. I've been here since my age, 53 years. I've lived in Miami-Dade County. And I have worked in both the private sector and the public sector. Real estate, consumer commercial collections, bench trials all over the state of Florida. I review probate cases, forfeiture cases, eminent domain cases, tangible personal property cases. Thank you.
Okay. Judge Luis Perez Medina, 1 minute intro.
Good morning. My name is Judge Luis Perez Medina, and I was wondering you. That was not my first career. I was an insurance agent for 21 years. When I went to FIU, I worked during the day, studied at night. And at age 46, I graduated and became a state attorney. I was a state attorney for 8 years, had numerous trials. And then in 2018, I became a judge. I was appointed to the bench. When I started with 11,000 cases on my docket, with 1,000 cases being filed every month. That's because it's county court. It's high volume. Now, I've dropped it to under 3,000 cases. And doing that, I did that with knowing the law, treating everybody with respect, and that's why I have gotten the support from the Miami Herald, the Police Benevolent Association, the Fraternal Order of Police.
We're going to go ahead and start with your first question. You'll have an opportunity, both of you, to close it again. Let's try this question. New one. How do you ensure that pro se or unrepresented litigants will have fair access to court proceedings without showing favoritism? How do we make the court better access for all?
One of the things that a county court does is it does pre-trial. That's small claims. A lot of the litigants are pro se's. So one of the things I enjoy doing small claim and pre-trial because I get the chance to explain the law to the litigants when they come in. Both there, they both hear the same thing. If they can't resolve the case, then we set it for trial. I sit and I take the time to explain what the law is and what they have to do to move forward. That's why one of the reasons the Herald gave me the endorsement, because of the way I treat the litigants before me.
We'll give you a little extra time as well. Do you remember the question? Or you want me to repeat it? The question is, how do you ensure that pro se or unrepresented litigants have fair access to court proceedings without certainty?
First and foremost, a lot of people come to court scared. And a lot of times, county court is the most impressive system. And for it is a scary system. And I want to make sure that everybody who comes before my court gets heard. Everyone gets heard equally, everyone has an opportunity to be heard, and everyone feels, even if they do not like the decisions that I've made, that they know that they've been given due process and have a due service. County court and small things, it is a high volume court, and people have to be, they have to be able to understand that they can be heard and that their case is important to the court, no matter how big or small it is. So when you come before the court, you have the opportunity, like everyone else, to state your case and to be heard.
Thank you. All right, go ahead and keep the microphone. Ms. Diaz, please describe a significant litigation matter you have been personally involved with as a lawyer or judge and why it was important to you.
As a lawyer, I am involved with high volume cases. Right now, I currently have a case that is based on family poverty, and there are many thousands of defendants pursuing the matters of the family poverty. And it is important to me, every case is important to me, because it's my job to make sure that it is done properly, that it's presented in the court properly, that the judge is informed as to what I'm doing and why I did it, and the arguments, and my research has to be proper and presented properly to the court so that the judge makes an informed decision based on what I represent.
You can pass the microphone. Same question.
One of the cases that touched me was when I was a prosecutor. I did a homicide in a case where a girl, 15 years old, was left on the side of the road, naked. And we didn't have any way of identifying the person. So the way we did the trial is we looked at phone records, DNA evidence, we saw who she was hanging out with, and we finally got someone, and I got to do the trial, and I got a conviction, and I made sure the family was grateful to me for the work I did, and it was something that touched me because of how the family felt afterwards. So,
thank you. Go ahead and keep the microphone. Well, is there an audience question for this group? All right.
Hi, you mentioned that you were originally appointed to the bench.
I was appointed to the bench in 28. Governor Scott.
Okay, and judges are, by the way, appointed whenever there's an opening in Florida. So, judges are appointed by the governor. All right. Let's learn something more fun about you. Let's go back to one people like. Tell us about your favorite movie or TV show, judge or lawyer, and why.
My favorite movie has always been my favorite movie, is To Kill a Mockingbird. And the character was Atticus Finch. Because he was defending an individual that was innocent in a town where everyone was biased against him. He did everything he had to do to try to get him off. Unfortunately, he didn't. But it is a great movie, and it's something that lawyers always look to and aspire to be an Atticus Finch in the court. And that's what I wanted to do.
Same question.
I don't have a favorite lawyer movie, but before my mother passed away last month, I used to watch like The Lawyer with her every day. And it was a rerun after rerun after rerun, the same thing over and over and over again. So I enjoy all lawyer movies because it gives me a chance to see how the actors actually portray real life situations. So I can see it, but I love to watch them all, especially The Lawyer that I used to watch with my mother.
Thank you. Go ahead and keep the microphone and give us 30 to 40 seconds. Close and let us know why we should vote for you.
Well, I've been an attorney for over 18 years, and I am dedicated, and I've worked very hard to get to where I am today. I'm dedicated to serve my community. I currently am serving the community by doing back to school drive. I'm involved in that. And every year, I'm involved in toy drives for foster children. I have volunteered with Guardian at Lido, and I do work with for children, getting back to that by doing annual toy drives.
You can take 1 minute.
First of all, thank you, Michael. Thank you, all of you, for being here. I have the experience to be a judge. I've been in a courtroom since I graduated from law school, 20 years. I've never left the courtroom. I've done numerous trials with homicide and in civil as a judge. And I treat everyone with dignity and respect. And that's why the Herald gave me the endorsement. I've also received the endorsement from the League of Prosecutors, the Police Benevolent Association, the Fraternal Order of Police, the Hispanic Police Officers Association, and the AFL-CIO, which consists of 60 unions and 250,000 voters. They thought that I had the experience needed to be a judge, and I would love to have your support. My name is Luis Perez Medina, and my number is 133. Thank you.
All right, thank you both. Please look at County Court Judge, Booth 25, Maribel Diaz, Judge Luis Perez Medina. Thank you, and thank all the candidates who came out today. This is such an important process. As a former elected official, I have the most respect for everybody willing to put their name on a ballot and go through this effort to represent their community. Thank you to those watching from home on Facebook. It's my understanding that the Tuesday Morning Breakfast Club is now uploaded to YouTube. For those of us that missed it or want to go back and view it, you can do so. Let's give it up to Maddie Bauer and Valerie Navarrete. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Perfect timing. In the back, we have Dr. Alvin, which is giving free cancer skin screening and some
What? Sunblock. What?
Did you say anything?
Yes, I just did. Right on time. Yes. It's right
Thank you
here.
so much. And here, and another
Wait. Just one second. Wait. Here, let me show you on TV.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you for being here with us. You're here.
If you're looking for board-certified dermatologists in the Miami area, here to support the community and to offer excellent care to anybody who's sick.
Awesome. The thing here. Here we go. And we have some gifts. Whoever is here will get it. Thank you, doctor, for being here.
Thank you.